And we are back? Question mark? Hopefully.
Yeah, it's a new stream though, so everyone will have to change the link
Okay.
to come over. There's no one here yet, but that's okay.
That's okay.
I
It
just
is working. There we go.
It's working. It's working. It's fine. Well, I'll keep waffling. I'll quickly do a speed run of my Eldar game.
yeah.
It
By all
was.
means.
It was. I mean, the lists weren't overly different. If I'm being perfectly honest. Sunshiny Rays. You are in fact first. We have nothing. We don't have a previous stream for you to be first on, but I'm glad it's working. But yes, Eldar Mirror. So I wasn't practicing to it all, and this was Scott from Carnage. I asked him, "Oh, have you had much practice into the mirror?" He's like, "Yes, I've played it a lot, and on this map." And I was like, "Oh, wonderful!" So we had a little chat, and I was like, "Look, I think my understanding of the mirror is basically who gets first drop goes first, right?" And he was like, "It's somewhat like it's a little bit more nuanced than that." I'm like, "Yeah, there's absolutely going to be like a little bit more here and there ish about it, but in the grand scheme of things, if I deploy with everything on the line and I get first drop and I then go first, that feels good for me, right?" And he was like, "Yes." I was like, "Excellent, cool." I didn't get first drop, but I still deployed everything on the line. I was still going for it. But Scott was very clever because what he did is he blocked out multiple levels of that big L. So I absolutely could put nothing in there at all. And that made my whole deployment look really, really bad at the end of deployment because he'd saved his rangers until last. I was like, cool, they're just going to go on a side somewhere. I don't need to worry about this. I can still get to the top floor. And then he was like, yeah, no, my rangers are now lining the third floor, so you cannot land on any of these floors. And that really hurt. That hurt a lot. There was a small tear involved. But we sent some hawks in. We went first. We sent some hawks in and tried to use our mortals ability to clear some screens. I rolled atrociously on mortals, and I felt like this was probably deserved at this point. I have been a filthy Eldar scrub for this whole day, and I feel like it was only fair I get this in return. So I didn't really clear any screens. I sent Lycus and her spiders through, and I killed most of his spiders, chipped away at a banshee squad. But he had 15 banshees. He had a big 10 brick, which was quite interesting to see actually. And he also had a couple of Dark Reapers with indirect. So I did that. Lycus inevitably died. She does it once and then she dies. He then just shoved all of his banshees at me, indirected me, charged me everywhere, and I think I was just pretty much left with both of my transports with guys in. And I was just playing a point scraping game. That game collapsed really quickly. It felt really scrappy for like the first 2 to 3 rounds, for 3 turns, and then it just completely ran away because he's just got this indirect constantly picking away at me. I thought, oh, I've killed most of his spiders. This feels better for me. But crucially, my mistake was I didn't protect my spiders, and I gave him far too easily. So I got a reasonable loss into that. I think it was like 30 to 70. BCP, as always, is not actually working for me to see. So I'm going to say it was 30 to 70. It was somewhere within that realm. But he absolutely had my pants down on that mirror match, and his experience in it absolutely showed. But I wasn't upset. I wasn't upset about that. I think you know when you're beaten by experience, and that was fine. I could accept that, like the grown elf man I am. So that was my round 3. So we had Rob on a win, me and Jack on a loss. So we all ended the day 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
2-1. That's not a bad start. I'm pretty sure Harley was 3-0 at this point, and he'd won on stream at least once at this point, I think.
Yeah, he played his second stream
Right.
game, round 4.
Round
So
4.
you can watch that on the UKTC stream if you like.
Yes, if you'd like to see Harley doing some Admech things, please feel free.
Talking about his Tesco meal deal.
Oh, he kills me, does that man? Excellent. So, round 4, linchpin. Rob, what are we playing?
Pairings go up, Saturday for the Sunday game. And I drew Mike Costello from Tabletop Tactics, who is an old competitive hand who is very good at Warhammer. He is running Gladius Deathwatch. I saw this pop up. I'm like, what the hell does all of this do? So it was quite
Gladius
fun.
Deathwatch.
Yeah, it's
wow.
spicy. It's so spicy. So we had two of the firstborn veteran squads with Judicias for 2 fight first bricks. So we had four or five storm shields in there with fights first, with fight on death, with frag cannons, which are absolutely horrendous for elves. So they get full rerolls as well against Xenos.
Ideal.
Yes, ideal. Then he had a brick of like a Gravis brick. He had a tactical brick which has desolators in it. Just three.
Three's enough.
With a librarian attached, so they have sustained. That unit is wild, so wild. The Venga launcher was just picking up a unit a turn.
Oh my god!
I think he shot it with the sustained and oath. He shot it at 5 hellions, and he would have picked up 9 from D6 shots. I was like, cool, okay, this is a thing. So on this map, we kind of both deployed in the middle. He pushed his aggressor brick, he got first turn, down into my expansion objectives, which made it really hard for me to interact with. I made a mistake pushing into it. I pushed in, we talked through it, I went, cool, I'll activate it with 1 unit of Hellions into it, and went, I'm going to fight on death with my Archon unit. And he's like, can you do that? I paused for about 2 seconds and went, no, I can't.
No.
It is witch cult only. So that was a good way of losing an Archon unit turn 1 when it's usually my turn 3 push unit. But then, he had 2 fight first units in the middle. He had things pushing in. I think it was turn 2. He rapid ingressed his Talon Strike, so the 5 plasma guys into the top left corner, so the back of my objective, which turned out to be fine because I had my damage to Succubus to go deal with that. But it just put me on the back foot.
Yeah.
But ultimately, again, it was a really lovely game. We were talking through things to do. We got to turn 3 and I had my stuff staged in the middle. He had his stuff staged in the middle. And I just said, I need to push with everything right now and hope I spike because you're just going to do it to me next turn and I definitely lose that fight. So that's exactly what I had to do. Went in. I had some combat on the sides as well for his interrupt, so we both had vectors stopping each other doing bullshit in the middle. But he had an interrupt on the side, which I got really lucky and he whiffed with. And then I didn't kill enough Deathwatch. The Storm Shields effectively saved him from all my AP3 and AP4 witch attacks. And that was game. It was just the Venga launcher just chipped enough stuff.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. And of course, the librarian gives the unit a 4-up invuln as well. So it's such a nice combination. And he just played it really well. I was talking to Tom afterwards. I said what happened. He's like, he did exactly the same thing to me 6 months ago. Exactly the same thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, so he was just it was a lovely opponent. We had a really good laugh.
Mike's great. I've played him before. Really nice guy.
Yeah,
really
there's no gotchas. There's nothing like that. You talk through everything and you have a good laugh. You swear at each other and call each other weird and wonderful names. And it was good fun. It was good fun.
Excellent.
So we're 2-2.
2-2, Rob. 2-2. Jack, how are we looking? What have we got?
So I played against Dark Angels. So this was the Lion, double Deathwing Knight, and Deathwing Terminators, and then like a bunch of infantry.
Mhm.
So kind of an interesting list, a little bit different. Another person who's kind of like new to the tournament scene, but very good. Mostly playing on TTS. So this game is like really, really hard on this board for any shooting army into Deathwing Knights. The problem that you have is that they're so resilient against like conventional shooting armies that it's very difficult to do any damage to them. Come on, and he also went first, which makes this even harder.
Oh, gosh,
because his Deathwing Knights were like here, right? They were all way up against the wall. He had another line of like jump pack guys, some jump pack guys here. Because he can uppy downy the Lion, he had the Lion here, his Lone Op Lieutenant here, and he had a bunch of intercessors here, jump pack intercessors. The problem with the jump pack intercessors is that because he has advance and charge in this detachment, is their threat range extends like well beyond the objectives, right? He can go like all the way back here, like very easily, which means I can't really put anything forward that's going to get tagged. Like, I can't threaten any objectives in any way because he can sit behind this wall and I can't shoot him, and he can sit behind this wall and I can't shoot him, and there's basically nothing I can do, which is very bad. The one play I had, which is probably is a big mistake, it's worth talking about. So he picked the lineup and he decided to keep his reroll 1's aura, not his Maul's aura. So I had scouted a Kassakin unit into here. So I jumped out, moved, ran a guy through here, and was going to throw the Melter Mine, which I assumed was 2d3 because I thought it was vehicles and monsters effective. It's only d3. Throw a grenade at him. Didn't matter because I rolled a 1 on the Melter Mine, and I did not roll any wounds on my grenade. I was like, I'm going to sacrifice this unit to do a bunch of mauls to the lion because I was super worried about the lion just not being able to do with him. And I was like, okay, hopefully I can just kill him. I'm probably not going to kill him, but I was like, maybe I'll kill him and we can just do a bunch of damage to him, and at least he'll be too scared to put him out at that point.
Yeah.
Because he has the 3-inch charge, so he's just going to kill me in my turn. But I can reinforcements them because I have Leontis, and I can bring them on board somewhere else to do something, so I don't really lose the squad. I think what I should have done instead was just put them here and just denied him the point. Because if he comes out, he's going to get shot by a Dawn from here and a Demolisher from here.
Yeah.
And maybe whatever other tank I have lying around is going to be able to shoot him. So he's going to feel very nervous to come out there. Yeah, so that's what I should have done on this side. The problem I had on the bottom flank is that even if... So I had a Chimera over here, right? Even if I put this Chimera just on the point here, right? This is this distance to charge is 14 inches, which is a 9 on 3d6 with advance and charge. So Deathwing Knights will just pick up a Chimera. So I can't hold this. And I can't sit here because he's got intercessors here that are just going to advance and charge and tag everything. So I didn't really know what to do. So what I ended up trying to do was I put the Chimera here, and then I put all of the Kassakin in here, bonus OC. So what I was hoping to do, with bonus save, sorry. So what I was hoping to do was live with my 3+ save and cover, not get charged because he physically can't fit around this area. Because he can only get intercessors into that area, and hopefully hopefully with a 3-up save I'll just live. And then I can switch to OC2 in my turn, flip the point back to me. What actually happened was he put a unit of scouts out here, and he deep struck his Deathwing Terminators like this, and he had 1 missile guy to see. 1 missile guy killed 9 because I couldn't roll any 3-up saves to save my life. So he killed 8, and then the heavy bolter killed another 1. So I had 1 dude left. And I was like, no, that left loads of space in there for him to charge through. Because he'd also deep struck a unit in here, and they came through. So we ended up with 2 units of Deathwing Knights on this point. 1 on this side of the wall, 1 on this side of the wall. Also, he had jump back intercessors here, tagging a Dawn and a Chimera, and it was just an absolute mess. I tried to shoot with a few bits, but everything just bounced. I did 3 wounds to his army. I did nothing.
The minus wound is huge in that matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And the other issue that I had was I couldn't really stand on any of the points to deny him like I normally would because of the charge in my turn thing. So I was looking at it and I was like, I can put the Bullgrin here in the middle because he had 2 dudes on the objective. But he's just going to charge me and put more guys on the objective and use the strat to double his OC and then hold it anyway. So I can't kill the scouts in the middle. I can't go this way because he has a unit of aggressors here because he can rapid ingress the lion and just charge me because he was in reserve. And I was trying to think for 5 minutes, what is there anything I can do? And it just didn't matter what I did with any Bullgrin at all because he could just counter me in any way that I did. And so there wasn't really much of a game. There wasn't really many choices I could make in this game that felt like this. I did have at the start, and I think I had a lot of choices in deployment. But after that point, I felt like I didn't really have much I could do, and it kind of became a non-game, especially once my stuff started getting tagged. And I thought about it, and there's minor things I could do, I could change. But with on this map with the flat square, 5x5 square, I don't know what different I can do. It gets easier if I go first. It gets easier if I do like a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, it's a difficult game for sure.
Yeah, it's really tough, that, isn't it? When you break it down like that, it's like they have an answer for everything.
Yeah, it was really rough. But it was a really good opponent. Let's grab his name. I did write it down. It was Mike. I believe Mike. His name was. And yeah, it was a really good opponent. And I hope to play him again at some point. Yeah, I just completely bounced. I couldn't hurt him at all. His army was just too resilient to conventional shooting, I think, and I just couldn't. I had so much board control on me that I couldn't do much. So yeah, that was my round 4 and lost like 14-6.
Okay, it's not awful. Not awful.
Yeah, 44 80 it was.
Really tough matchup. Sun Shiny Rays. I am assuming we're all probably remembering this from memory, there or thereabouts. Unfortunately, when you were like us and don't have a lot of other life going on, all you remember is those silly mistakes you made whilst rolling some dice at a weekend.
Especially when you spend the whole weekend telling everyone all the things that happened in the game, and you've already decided it like 5 times.
Yeah.
This is the event life for you. So my round 4, I finally got to meet the dreaded Victrix in an extremely watered down version. So I had new Calgar with Victrix, so no extra to Victrix with the Feel No Pain. It was also new Gladius, so no Fight on Death, and then he had a couple of Gladiator Lancers, which he very kindly started in reserves for me because he was so worried about Fuga and one-tapping them that I then went first and one-tapped his Victrix instead. So basically the guy deployed his Blade Guard with Judiciar and his Victrix with Calgar and Gilliman on the line behind his big L. I used my Rangers to sort of block him putting anything screening in there. He put some scouts on a flank, so both Gladiators were in reserves. He had a Redemptor as well, and then some Intercessors to sticky his home. And then he had another unit of company heroes with a captain just ready to go up and try and tag his natural expansion. I then went first. I saw an opening. I threw Azman in and threw the Fire Dragons in. Went with the Dev Wounds with Azman, killed the majority of the Fight First Blade Guard, and then threw Fugan in, killed the majority of the Victrix Guard. He Blood Surged, but didn't quite make contact. I'd set Jane Zara up ready to charge when he inevitably made contact with the Fire Dragons, but he didn't. And he ended up stood behind some scouts, which was quite annoying, actually, because I couldn't then very easily just charge him with Jane. So I waited a turn. Everyone got back in their transport. So I made him come out to me. He didn't kill a falcon somehow, which was quite impressive. And then I sent the rest of my army at him and pretty much just tabled him from there. I think his Lancers came in and they were sort of just holding his points in the game. And Gilliman stand back up again. He gave him another couple of turns, but beyond that, it really snowballed quite quickly, and it just goes to show that Eldar are stupid. That is the only takeaway I have.
This is the story.
Eldar is stupid. I mean, this game I didn't use Lycus, so she made it from the little L at the back of my deployment zone over to the left-hand L to sabotage inside of it, then onto the expansion. That didn't flicker jump once. Like, didn't shoot, nothing. That's a 300-point unit. Like, well, 200-point unit there. I've just not used.
200-point unit.
210,
That's
something
upsetting.
like that. Yeah,
It's a T3 3-up armor. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, 2 up armor. Unlike
It's only.
Okay. We got quite a comfortable win into that one. There's not an awful lot. We had a good chat about blocking out his L with his scouts or something, just so I couldn't immediately throw stuff at him, and perhaps not letting me touch you with dragons turn 1, or maybe just don't play Eldar. But that was round 4. So we got me as a win and Jack and Rob as a loss. So we are all hunting a final win going into round 5. We've got Take and Hold, Search and Destroy. Rob, What was the matchup? What did we play?
So at 2-2, you know, these lower mid tables you expect to hit, you know, the people in the middle. I hit our friend Paul Bridge on 20 Victrix Guard.
Easy win, to be fair.
And Gilliman. So I've heard. Yeah, it didn't quite pan out that way. So again, I got to go first with my squishy witches that had to push into Victrix Guard, which was good fun. So turn 1, he made a bold move. He wanted to bait me. So he started Kato up in the top on that little square.
Yep.
Scouted out, and he was like, "You're going to come out and get me. You can come out and get me." Oh, no, it was turn 2. Turn 2, he brought that out. He was like, "You can come and get me." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, I will." Came out, shot it with a few things, absolutely whiffed, and then I had an Archon with a Dark Lance that had to roll a 7 on his damage, who saved my absolute ass and rolled an 8 on his damage. Popped the unit because I had Lilith lined up to charge the contents. So we disembarked, and I charged in, and he goes, "Cool, I'm going to fight on death." I'm like, "You just fell out of a transport, buddy."
No, you're
You are
not.
battle shocked.
Here we go. Lilith, who round 3 got 18 AP4s. Round 4 got 19 AP4 wounds through. 2 up, sustain 2, roll the dice. 7 hits, no sustained. But okay. This was going to be okay. This is his back has been broken. Turn 2 of his Victrix Guard list. Oh god, I've just thrown my Victrix anti-unit away to kill 2 Victrix Guard and I lost 2 Talos as a result as well. 3 Talos as a result.
Oh, man.
So from that point, effectively, we skirted around the points. He had Calgar in his Super Ruin, just ready to go. I couldn't interact with it because how far these away? Mm-hmm. Even with a 10-inch move plus a D6 advance, he's got a flat 6 reactive the majority of the time. So I ended up having to go in the turn that I went. I was like, okay, cool. It's a 6 before I'm going to advance. I rolled a 3. I'm like, okay, it's a 6. We just need to go for it. You just rolled the 5. So I had 11-inch re-rolling, which meant I just had my Fight's First Witch unit just staying in the center. But it was just one of those ones where you have to push into something with fight on death, reactive moves, really tough profiles, and it was what was to expect in this matchup, to be honest. It's I think both of my Victrix games, if I go second, it's fine because they have to push at me, and I've got enough stuff to screen and control where they engage with me. But pushing into them is just a huge issue, I think. It's just everything just on top of each other that makes them such an issue. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not soon.
You know what? I hope that unit gets epic unit. I hope it turns into an epic unit. Everyone who has 18 has to ditch 12. That's what I hope happens.
Yes. Have that.
That's how you fix it.
That is the only fix I will accept now.
We will fix it how they fixed orc buggies.
Get them out of here. Nice.
So that was a big loss in the end.
I mean that is one of the hardest.
It was a 58-85, so it wasn't a blowout, but he just didn't have to interact. He didn't have to do anything to score 85 points, and I was never going to score primary. So lost at the end. And my tactic of just don't pair them just didn't work out.
That's quite hard to do in singles, I guess, Rob. You are at the whim of an app, unfortunately.
Pairing gourds did not favour me.
They did not. Jack, we're chasing the 3-2.
So my strategy of not pairing against the Victrix Guard did work. I didn't have to play Victrix. However, my plan of not playing Dark Angels again did not work.
So how happy we would have been if we swapped pairings. It would have been
So unfortunately, I did have to play against Dark Angels again. This was a slightly different list. This was the full triple Deathwing Knights. He had 2 of the Landspeeder Vengeances, the ones with plasma cannons on the back. And he did have the Lion as well. So I was a little bit worried about it going in. But I had a really good time with my opponent. He's a really fun guy. He hasn't gone to many tournaments. He's fairly new to the tournament scene. I think he's done a bunch of RTTs, but this is like his first 2-dayer. I was talking to him. I was trying to get him to come to one of our 6+ events because he's a really good time. But yeah, so I tried to learn from my previous game on this map and previous game against the Dark Angels.
Yes.
So my Royal Dawn side all the way back here. I'm just going to threaten this objective, as I said it would. I had a Chimera here. I had Bullgrins here. I had like 2 Demolishers here. I had one of my Exterminators here and another one like back here. So, and importantly, I didn't have my big Doomsday squad on my home objective, like the Leonta squad. I had it up here, like spread out. So that ended up going up here. They put all the sandbags on there, and they held that objective for most of the game. One Exterminator came up here and kind of just shot down the alleyway. And we kind of traded bits. So my first turn, I absolutely bombed it for one of my Chimeras. Kassakin got out in the ruin because I had no prisoners and just killed one of his jump back intercessor squads because I was like, I am not messing with these fuckers. They ruined my game last time. I need to get rid of one. So I got rid of one of them because he only had 2 in this list.
Yeah.
The other one went and held this objective. I bombed it with mortars all game and eventually killed it.
Get off my board.
He, of course, did kill this squad. I reinforcements it. He then thinks, you know what? This is going to not work out for me in the long run. Because I have momentum here. I went first on this one. So I was kind of like dictating the game pace, which is not what I was able to do against the previous Dark Angels player. So he decides, I can't stand around and let this guy just like win all these trades against me and just plink me off. So he ran at me with a unit of Deathwing Knights. He ran at me with a Lion. He had another unit of Deathwing Knights in here that came out here, and because I had a Chimera on this objective to deny his 2 what they call jump back intercessors. The point. And yeah, he just ran at me. So he was able to because I had stepped out with like a Demolisher here and one here to shoot stuff he had in the middle. He charged his Lion into one, killed that, and charged his Deathwing Knights into the other. I heroicked with my super heroic Bullgrin into the middle. And then they sat there for a while. And yeah, it was in big. This game just ended up becoming a massive war of attrition because he piled the killed this thing, pile into the Demolisher. Demolisher falls back. Bullgrin stay in combat with these guys, and then I fire the universe at the Lion. So it was it basically fired. I didn't fire the Demolisher that fell back, obviously, because it fell back. And then so I had 2 Exterminators. Should have been 1. The one game where she but I'll come back to it. And then the Rogal Dawn and all of the infantry to shoot him. All the infantry, nothing. He passes all of his saves. Okay, no worries. Exterminator, nothing. Passes all of his saves. So it doesn't actually matter that I brought an extra one. The next one fires, does 3 wounds. And I'm like, awesome, I've done 3 wounds. Rogal Dawn fires everything, does nothing until the last multi-melters, the last weapon I have to put into him. He fails the last saves because he'd already used a CP reroll. I was able to do the damage and just managed to kill him on the last roll.
Yeah.
So I was able to get away with that. And yeah, there was at that point I had taken so many like positive trades because the Lion had basically been traded for a Demolisher. He'd lost most of one's Deathwing squad for a transport. The other one was in reserve. He just wasn't getting many good trades on the board, especially since he'd pushed up his intercessors to try and kill my one of my Catachan units was strung across the board. So he left his home objective open, so Gaunt's Ghost jumped down
I'll have that
behind him. And it was a very awkward positioning because he couldn't get back there with just a move to see me. So he had to advance back there, shoot me, failed to kill me because Gaunt's Ghost have stealth and always cover. And then I was able to fight him over like five or six rounds of combat, 4 intercessors against Gaunt's Ghosts. And we did eventually win that fight. Gaunt and McCall stood strong and were able to win But yeah, it just became this like crazy battle of attrition, and
Yeah.
I was just barely able to hang on. It was quite funny. There was one point where he had his land speed at here, right, and he had the option of rapid ingressing his Terminators, and he was thinking, right, well, I get a ton of blast shooting this squad. If I could oath it, shoot it, bring the Deathwing Terminators down, I can double my OC. I think I can flip this off of you. How much OC are you on that point? And I looked at it, and I had flipped it off of him the previous turn with the OC order, so I still had the OC order on. And I was like, okay, well, I've got Leontis and 2 command squad guys not on the point. So I have 89 OC on this objective. And he was like, I don't think I can get through all that. And I was like, that is correct. You probably can't. And so he was like, you can have that point. And he went for my home objective. And I just barely managed to hang on to it with the plus OC order, passing some leadership 6 leadership tests with my sticky objective, holding on for it. So they were to not lose that, and then we were able to come out on top in that game. I just had enough momentum to pull it back. So that game ended up 100-53 to me. So yeah, that was a really awesome game I had with. He was also called Jack, yeah, really good. Yeah, it was we had a real nice Jack off. I came out on top. He came out on bottom. But a good time was had by all. And hopefully I see him again. Hopefully we see him at a 6+ event because he was a really cool dude. How'd your game go, Ben?
My game? Well, I got Admech. Another one of the armies that I was sort of like, I'd maybe like to avoid that this weekend. Maybe. I didn't. I got it. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, he had like 25 birds, so many. I can't tell you what the difference between an infiltrator and a rust stalker is. That's what I took from this game. He just had lots of like spidery looking dudes with batons, and I used like these ones shoot and these ones. I'm like, well, how am I don't get it. What's the difference?
I hate those things.
I was just like,
because it's not just that they look the same, right? But like each individual one of those squads can take a different weapon loadout, and you don't know what they are. So you're like, which ones are these? These are the ones with the precision, or the dev wounds, or the anti-infantry, or like just like 18 different keywords. You don't know which combination they have.
What are they doing?
Which ones infiltrate? Are they all move 24 inches when they charge? Or...
Yeah, like literally, I don't get it. But he's reeling off his Halo Screed rules, and I'm like, oh, this is really fast, isn't it? He was like, yes, Ben, it is very fast. I was like, oh, cool. Can I have that? And he's like, no. So yeah, he's got a lot of stuff in there. He's got unit breachers. He's about 5 chickens, plenty of infiltrators / rust stalkers, and he's got crucially 25 of the birds, the shooty scooty birds, that for some reason when battle line exists in their vicinity, they get to scoot back 12 instead of just 6, which feels really non-interactive. So
it's not nice when other people do that.
It's not. I want to be the only one that can do that, Jack. I did not have that thought this day. Basically, my plan going into this game was I need to kill this quickly and as decidedly as I can. And that was the game plan, and I was executing that quite well. So, he'd sent over a big 10 unit of birds to try and knock out a unit of banshees. And I was like, cool, I'm going to overwatch you with the spiders because they exist there. He was like, yep, fine, no worries. I did kill 8 out of the 10. And he was like, oh, that was more than I expected. I was like, yeah, and me. Anyway, the 2 birds still kill the whole Banshee Autarch unit. I was like, oh, well, I feel like I've wasted CP there, but sure.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that you mentioned that, is that I had this discussion with Harley about how he was saying that it's actually not that bad for the Eldar because the Eldar can just pick up these infiltrator units with warp spiders, 5-mans, and I was like, surely not, that can't be right. And we sat there and we did the maths, and I was like, no, they killed like 8 or 7 of them on every shot. That's crazy. Like
they do enough, and that was pretty immediately what I found. So yeah, we played like a silly little tradie game for the first round, and then round 2, I was like, I just need to shove you at this point because if I don't, you are going to quite happily overrun me. And this is my second turn of dead drawing cards as well. I've got 1 point on secondary over about 5 different cards for round 1 and 2. But so I've sent my spiders in. I've sent Jane in. I couldn't quite get Fuegan in, but he wasn't overly necessary into it. I've put spiders up on his top level of his L. I've got some plunging fire, ignores cover, deleted so much stuff. His breaches come in and goes 1, 2, 3 units. Get him off the board. Thanks very much. And I was like, oh, for God's sake. So he had just as murderous a turn as me. And I think at that point, I'd lost too much. I'd lost too much of a footing in the game. I continued to murder lovely Kevin. Kevin was wonderful. To a point that he had, I think I counted it up at the end, he had 9 models left. And with those 9 models, he scored about 28 points round 5. And I lost the game 73-56. So it was a bit rough. I think a couple of dead drops just were not permissive for what I wanted to do. So I got behind enemy lines round 5. I was in his deployment zone turn 2 through 4. Like, why couldn't that come a turn earlier? I got assassinate round 1. It was just everything was coming at the wrong time. And yeah, it was tough. Admech are a thing. There's a lot of stuff there. I couldn't kill that quick enough. Maybe a better player than I could. Ben Jones, maybe I should speak to him.
I hear he's good at beating Eldar, actually.
Yeah. Harley will tell. Like, Ben's beat Harley, right? That'd be fine.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, right? Because I was really focusing on like aggressively drawing secondaries with Leontis in this tournament, and it paid dividends for me because I ended up getting like 2 40s and a 36 after a triple 0 card turn in one of my games. So I mean, I think I don't know about you, but I think like I want to keep Leontis in my list purely for that reason.
Yeah,
I don't know if you found like you had the CP to do that. But
I didn't. I think that's the problem. I didn't have excess CP in a lot of the games I needed. So like these games, I was needing to ignore mods because of all the stealth. I was needing potentially like sustained or fight on death, something like that, just to start the Overwatch, for example, like just with the spiders was just so crucial there. But I just didn't have the CP spare to be flipping secondaries to actually get something I could score, which was a shame.
It's funny how polarizing that can be. Like, you've got Leontis generating CP, whereas for me, I've got 2 CP strats with no CP generation anywhere in the army.
Yeah.
So turn 1 and 2, I don't know how many times I've discarded Defend Stronghold when I would score it because the CP is worth more than 3 points.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think I've done that as well. Just get rid of it. I'd rather have the CP.
Yeah,
thanks very much.
I think I'm just addicted because I've come from Tower, who are kind of like in the same boat to being like, oh my god, give me the CP, it's so good.
When I played Guard last night, I was just like, I guess I use a strat. Do I have anything that would help? This one might. I guess I'll do that.
What does this one do? Give me all the damage.
Yeah,
Nick,
lethal.
Let's do it.
We'll take many shots, but it might help. Cool. Let's try. Let's try.
So that ends the event. So I think both me and Jack got the 3-2, and Rob got the 2-3.
2-3.
Jack placed higher than myself, and unsurprisingly, I did place higher than Rob.
Thanks,
you
man.
do that when you get one more win than Rob. But and Harley got the 4-1 in the end. I think getting absolutely brutalized by Nas round 5. Which I think that was the one he was looking to avoid as well, right? He didn't want that. But a good event. Any learnings, any takeaways? I know the slate's round the corner, so list-wise, probably not an awful lot currently.
Yeah, I mean, there's little stuff that I was looking at. Things like Gaunt's Ghosts weren't like they had good moments, but they probably could have just been a unit of Aquilons and done the same job but better because I could have reinforcemented them. But I'm probably not going to use combined again for a little while, so it is that kind of relevant. I definitely should have taken more Catachans. I really not that I undervalued them, but I definitely needed more. Because it would have been so much more helpful for denying secondary and just doing missions and stuff. And yeah, so those are the main takeaways for me. Is I need more crap. And
horses. You need horses, is what you need.
Yeah, I do like horses.
Oh, no.
I got 10 coming. They're coming.
Excellent. Rob, anything from you?
You know what? Like, when you're in a field like this and you pair like that, like a 2-3 is fine. My losses, I guess the ones against Victrix, you just don't learn anything in those matchups where there just isn't much of a win path. Like, it was a learning to see, okay, what can it do? And the only thing you can take away with it is when it gets hit a little bit, I'm going to be a bit more prepared because we'll have a little bit less stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then the 2 wins, they were newer players. So, it was for me, it was the weekend seeing you guys and just hanging out and just.
It was a good time.
I had a laugh at every table, every game, and the results just didn't really matter. And it's nice to be at a sport where you almost don't care about your results.
Yeah.
I've tried chasing the top Drukari thing for a few years and stuff, and just at the point where I had a year off, I'm just like, cool, I just want to go and play. And
Have 5 good games.
I want to know that I played well and I've learned more than I want a result. So
Yeah.
it's kind of my learning from the weekend.
No, exactly. And yeah, I think I'm much the same. I just had 5 good games, and I came away and I was like, I didn't even look where I placed. I'd been so focused on that over the past six months or so. I didn't care. I just walked away. I was like, I think I've played 5 good games here. I've played to the best of my ability, and that's all I could say from that. I'm not thinking too much about where Eldor are going, because I'm sure most people are hoping that they are about to be punted into the sun, and everyone knows the realism is probably that they'll get a gentle love tap and the next build will just rotate around and everyone will still be mad that Eldar exist.
Oh no, we're
I
going to
imagine there's a laughing god in the future. coming to table.
Yeah, the adaptation is we run the same list with 5 fire dragons instead of 10, and we just kill 2 units rather than 3 at a
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Oh God, they're dumb. They're so dumb. I had a lot of fun with them. They were fun. They were fun to play, but it is so dumb.
I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you were happy.
But I'm like halfway through turn 2, like having a really intense like counter melee game. Going, okay, this is happening. You walk around, you're like, yeah, I just killed 18 suits, and my game's done in 45 minutes. Like, cool.
It is dumb. Yeah, I don't think anyone will be sad to see this get nerfed. To be honest, it deserves it. It absolutely deserves it. Awesome. Right. What do we do now? Podcast questions. Is that a thing? Do we have any?
Oh well, this isn't the official show.
Oh yeah,
so
we're not the official show. I'm not doing that. I want to go to bed.
So we can skip that. But yeah, so that's it. We can go. I'm going to go get Grizzly with it and build some models for a Grizzly list and kind of hope that my arm doesn't change too much. Paint some models.
I like it. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you've stuck with us through this thrilling journey of our Leicester experience and enjoyed it. And I guess we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Goodbye.
bye.